This video is the third and the final of a three-part series. The first video established that the Jehovah's Witnesses believe that Jesus Christ is the mediator only for the spiritual anointed class of 144,000, and that Jesus Christ is not the mediator for the rest of mankind. This second video examined the accuracy of this belief against Scripture. And this final video is about a public event that the Jehovah's Witnesses hold each spring called the Lord's Evening Meal. It's held as a memorial of Christ's death. The Jehovah's Witnesses warmly invite friends and family and newly interested ones to attend the ceremony. And at this ceremony, both bread and wine elements or emblems are passed out. The bread symbolizes Christ's perfect body, and the red wine represents Christ's blood. Here's the scripture that began this tradition. Jesus took a loaf, and after saying a blessing, he broke it. And giving it to the disciples, he said, "Take, eat. This means my body." Also, he took a cup, and having given thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "Drink out of it, all of you. For this means my blood of the covenant, which is to be poured out in behalf of many for forgiveness of sins." Matthew 26 through 28. Now, you might be thinking that this ceremony that the Witnesses have sounds just like any Christian church that commemorates the Last Supper or communion, right? Wrong. At the Jehovah's Witnesses memorial of Christ's death, only those that believe that they are of the anointed class actually partake in the emblems or the elements. All others stand and observe the anointed partake and pass the emblems, the bread and the wine, to the next person. How many of supposedly anointed Jehovah's Witnesses are living today? Well, they believe that there are about 8,000 people worldwide that should scripturally partake in the bread and the wine elements. You see, unbeknownst to most loving friends and families that get invited and decide to go, their attendance, unknowingly to them, co-signs the Jehovah's Witnesses' belief that there are two classes of Christians. Now let me ask you, do you believe that there are two classes of Christians? One anointed and one non-anointed? Well, I mean, if you do, then keep going. But if you don't, then you may want to slow down and take time to rethink that and maybe refuse that next invitation. And finally, the same thing is true for the active Jehovah's Witness that attends this event and decides every year to pass on partaking on the bread and the wine elements. Through their own behavior, they're saying, A, Christ is not my mediator. B, Christ's blood does not cover me. C, I am not in the new covenant. And D, the New Testament was not written primarily for me, that it was primarily written for another class, the anointed class. Let others make errors in judgment, but not you. I hope this video was helpful, and if so, then I want you to share it with someone that would benefit. God bless you. Hope to see you on the next video. I'm Daniel.